Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be tuning up and waxing my skis. It's got the ski here. I'm going to start off by making sure the edges are all sharp, and then we'll clean the base, apply wax to the base, then we'll scrape it, and then we'll brush it, and then we'll have a ski ready to go. So let me start off here by getting the edges ready. I think these edges are actually pretty good. I must have tuned them up a little bit before I put them away last year, but I'll just do a little bit of light edge work on here. Usually I just use a diamond stone. This one's a little bit worn, but essentially you can run it along the edges and just sharpen it up. So let me put you guys down, kind of show you how I do that. Get you guys put on a tripod here. I'll just do the one ski, but of course this works for both of your skis. So get you guys set up there. So I start off with my diamond stone and a little bit of water. And I've already have the edges of this ski set. Where I think I have an 89 on the side edge, which is the edge here on the side, and then I think it's 0.5 degrees on the base edge, which is the bottom edge here. So you may see tools, kind of like this guide, where you can put a diamond stone in there. A lot of times it comes with a file, where if you wanted to like reset your edge to say 88 degrees, you put the file in, and that would take off a lot more material. But once you have the edges set, you don't need to take off that much material, because you can only do that so many times before your edge is completely gone. So get your diamond stone wet, and I just kind of run it along here on the contact points. Do a few passes. The edge is nice and sharp, and this one's pretty good. Look for any big burrs or rust spots. I'll flip it over. Do my other edge. I notice there's a little bit of rust toward the end here. I'm just going to clean that up. Do one more run here. Then I'll flip it on its base. I'm just using my fingers as a guide, getting it parallel with the base edge. Sharpen it, and this won't take enough away. This won't take enough material away to change the degree of your base edge. So again, you just get it parallel with your base edge. Run it along. This one's running nice and smooth. No big burrs there that it's catching on. And then to finish it off, I take a gummy stone and just look for any big burrs. I just polish up the edge here. Sometimes you'll find a burr that you missed that you can work out with the gummy stone. And again, there's a little bit of rust here on the back part, which this gummy stone is great. It's just rubbing away that rust, polishing up your edge nicely. Again, if you do this after every 3 to 4 days, your edges will stay nice and clean and sharp. You'll never have to really do the big file on there. And if you ever feel like your edges aren't tuned really appropriately, you can't get them tuned yourself, you can always take it to a shop. Getting your edges done is a little bit cheaper than actually waxing the board. You can just have them do the edges and tune your edges for you. Those are looking good. Now we're gonna go ahead and clean this board and get rid of any metal filings or shavings. So I use a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Some people use an actual product called Base Cleaner that you can use. Rubbing alcohol works pretty good. This is just cleaning it. You want to make sure you get any metal filings off the edges because you don't want to rub those into your base and damage it. And then once I get that done, I usually take my brush here. I take a brass brush, and if you run it from tail to tip, that'll help open it up, your pores, so they'll accept wax a little bit better. And again, you don't want to be too aggressive. Don't press too hard with this brush, because you can damage the base a little bit. But if you just do nice, easy strokes, this will help open up the pores of your board, so that it'll accept wax a little bit better. One kind of final run. Now we have the board nice and opened up. I'm gonna, the ski pores opened up, and then just do one more final pass. Some rubbing alcohol. Really make sure all the old wax is cleaned off. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to turn my iron on. And this is the iron I use. It's a race wax iron. I set my iron to 130 degrees. And usually, you're always going to forget how hot you make your iron, so maybe just write on your iron somewhere with a marker how hot you usually like it. And basically you want it so that it makes the wax smoke, or drip but not smoke, excuse me. And if you're getting a lot of smoke and fumes, I would turn down the temp of your iron. Lots of different waxes you can use. I'm going to use this Universal Glide Wax today. I have a little bit left of it. This cost $20. I think I got it at REI on their garage sale, which is what that silver X means. A lot of times they're kind of denoted for different temperatures. That one, I guess, is kind of good all around temperatures. These ones you can see here, -12 to 36 degrees, and this one's -4 to 14 degrees. So this one's a little bit warmer wax, this one's a little bit colder. We're just going to use what's left of this Universal Wax today, so that we can get it used up. There's a couple different methods for getting the wax on. You can either drip it on, or you can kind of warm it up. You see my iron smoking here because I didn't clean it off very well the last time I used it. Turn the temp down. But I like to just get the wax warmed up, rub it on the board, rub it on the ski, warm it up. And I find by doing this, I end up using a little bit less wax. It's a little bit more efficient. Go past the contact points here. Contact point is where kind of a lot of snow is going to be hitting your ski. So I like for that area to be waxed well, so all the snow runs off of it. And here we're just applying the wax, rubbing it on. So the ski here kind of chalk. You don't have to cover every inch of the ski here. Again, it's very easy to use too much wax. And then when you're scraping, you'll regret it. Let's see if I can get my board managed a little better. Again, good idea to have footwear on right now too, because it's easy to drip hot wax on your feet. I know some people are into that, but pretty painful. There we go, just warming up this wax, rubbing it on until it stops rubbing on. This goes pretty quickly. There we go. All the way to the end there. So there we go. We still have a good amount of wax left for our other ski. And then at this point, I'll take my iron. Basically, you just lay it on here. You start to warm up that wax. Start to push it. I'm gonna apply a little bit more wax to the end of my ski here. I like to wax the ends of my ski even though they don't really touch the snow, just because the wax gives them a little bit of protection, helps them slide over rocks easier if you hit a rock or something. So you just kind of rub it over. I like to do each part of the ski about 3 or 4 times, running the iron over it, making sure I can get the wax in. You're trying to get the pores to accept the wax. Get a nice even coat of wax on the ski here. Running along. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you get a nice even coat. 2, 3. If you see a spot on the ski where you didn't get any wax put on or it's not covering, you can always add some wax. Go back, melt the wax, put it on. Always go back, repeat steps in this process. There we go, we got wax all the way to the end of our ski. Kind of slowly go down. Make sure we applied wax evenly everywhere. And enough love. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So now we're going to let this dry for, or cool down, I think. It's a better term. 5 to 10 minutes. Remember to turn our iron off. We're just gonna, you can kind of see here, yeah, that's still drying the wax. I have a nice even kind of coat of wax on here. While I wait for this to dry, what I'll do is I'll wax the other ski, which I won't make you guys watch because same process I just did. And then we'll go ahead and I'll scrape this ski and I'll turn you guys back on, show you what I'm doing there. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. I got my other ski waxed. Now that one's cooling down. Now's a good time to scrape this one. So I have 2 scrapers here. Got a big one and a small one. The small one should be good. For skis here. The other one I mainly use on my snowboard. I also have a sharpener. I always sharpen my scraper before I use it. Sometimes multiple times. But essentially you just kind of run it along the edge of the scraper there. Nice sharp scraper. And then I just go tip to tail. Theoretically, it doesn't really matter what direction you go. Because at the end of the day, you just want to get the wax in the pores. I'll make sure there's a trash can here, so I can scrape my filings into there. This can be pretty messy. Just nice even pressure along the ski. Get all the wax off. You want to get as much as you can off. Essentially, I just keep scraping, make a little pile here. It's okay to kind of do it in sections. As long as you go, you'll get less and less on each kind of pass down the ski. Maybe I'll put a little bit of music on for this part, so I can scrape down. I'll get back to you guys once I move on to brushing. All right, so after I've done that, basically I sharpen once I feel like I've gotten all of it as much as I can off, I sharpen my scraper one more time. I just do a few passes. Still getting, a tiny bit off, but we still need to brush it. We'll get some more wax off too. Maybe a lot of structure. You can see there's a little tiny pile here. A lot of that's coming from the edge here, but it's a little bit harder to scrape. Where I mainly just put the wax on. I don't mind the wax being a little bit heavier on the tips of my skis. In case I hit a rock or something. It's just a tiny bit more protection. Basically no wax left here now. Yeah, I can really scrape off. Even on these bigger one passes, not taking any more wax. Looks like we are on to brushing. Again, we'll start off with our brass brush here. Again, now we want to go tip to tail direction. We're trying to add structure to the board. Don't be too aggressive with the brass brush. Some nice firm strokes. Don't want to damage your base. Again, just kind of get as much of that wax up as we can. And the brass brush usually kind of leaves a line of wax along the board, or just like some residue, kind of kicks up a little bit of residue. You can't really brush it off because the bristles are too too stiff. So then we move on to a nylon brush. This one a little bit softer, so you can actually kind of start to make a little pile of residual wax here. I'm just going to slowly brush that toward the end of the board. Again, even this one's a little bit, the bristles are just a little bit too stiff. I feel like you can sweep the wax off your board. And that'll come in kind of step. The third brush is a horsehair brush. That one will really help us polish up our board. Or not our board, excuse me. If you haven't noticed yet, I ski and snowboard. I just finished waxing my board. If you're interested to see how to wax a snowboard, I'll put a link to that video below. But here we got the horsehair brush. And this one you can really make a little, almost like a broom, sweep up a little pile of residual wax. We're just brushing it off toward the end here. Tail. Now this ski is starting to look real nice and nice, kind of shiny, reflective base. You want to kind of start to see kind of the focus here. As we just get this little bit of residual wax off. Basically at this point now I'm almost getting nothing. We're just adding lots of structure to this ski. You want to basically form a bunch of little micro channels for the snow to kind of melt and run away from your ski as you glide over it. And we'll do one more final run with this horsehair brush. Just spend a little bit extra time here to really make a difference. And then one last step I like to do to finish it off, if I can find it, is I like to cork my board. Here's my cork. And this basically, you run it along your board, it heats up that wax just a little bit more. Kind of make sure you're running it all the way to the edges. Just run it back and forth real fast, get a real good shine on your board here. Some people use kind of like a Brillo pad to do this. A little bit of residual wax here on the end. And if you see some residual wax, you can always kind of go back. Always okay to go back, repeat a step. The horsehair brush. Maybe even nylon brush here. Again, at the end of the ski, it's just a little bit hard to get it completely scraped. So we'll do another pass here. The nylon brush. Just get a little bit of wax off the end there and the tip. And then we'll switch back to the horsehair brush. A little bit more structure. Back to the cork. Here again, you're just shining up this ski, warming up that wax a little bit so it sinks a little bit deeper into those pores. Basically giving it a nice polish, nice mirror finish. Back and forth, fast as you can. Just heating this up, making sure the wax is kind of spread out all evenly. Get that nice uniform layer of wax on here. this is looking real good. Real happy with this. How the ski turned out. Go ahead and show you guys the finished product. Again, I appreciate you guys watching. If you got any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below. If you got any criticisms, think I did this completely wrong, love to hear how you do it. Please don't let me be ignorant forever. But again, guys, I appreciate you watching. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll catch you all next time.